time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. So now I get to have a second round by myself, or at least until the chair gets back. He'll be looming over my shoulder soon enough. Oh, my God. There he is. Looming over my shoulder as predicted. But,
You're on, brother. Take it.
let me ask a final question. Mr. Mills, I'll talk with you because you've been working on this for such a long period of time, and I think you have a perspective. And, part of what America values is in this strange creation of a democracy that most of the time functions pretty well. People have an opportunity to voice their concerns. We spend a lot of time designing process by which neighborhoods and counties and states are heard. Two of the biggest reasons put forward in terms of the slowness of progress, especially in expanding transmission, but also making sure that it's efficient where it needs to be, has been the process, but then also the litigation. How would you rank those, relatively speaking, in terms of where we should put more attention to trying to move more rapidly? And again, I am a big believer that climate change is real and is happening at scale, and the costs of avoiding it, as Senator King said, are enormous. By delaying our response, it's going to cost 5x or 10x what it would cost now. So within that, where should we be focusing our attention?
Well, as a former practitioner of building things, as a physicist and engineer, you're asking me to choose between process and litigation is the lesser of evils. It's a tough challenge. But seriously, I think what you'd find for most industries, the threat of litigation is real, and in the hypertrophied examples, it becomes the dispositive factor that kills things. But on average, I think what you'd find in business is that it's the process, that is the regulatory process. It's the sand in the gears, as economists would talk about, that faces businesses, small and large, in the United States. So the National Manufacturers Association puts out a semi-annual study at the actual costs of process in the form of regulations, but they monetize it. And of course, in the United States, the last study came out this spring. It's, for a large firm, it's $18,000 a year per employee, and for small firms, $36,000 per year, if I recall correctly, per employee for regulatory compliance process. So that's a huge headwind for businesses to start and expand in the United States. So I would say, if I had to choose the two, I would say the process system, the regulatory systems, federal in particular, but state, are big impediments.
Right, and I appreciate that. And I would argue that the process is, again, uniquely American and critically important.
It is,
sir. That we don't want to eliminate it, but certainly I think there are probably ways when we look at something like this where really both sides, the Republicans and Democrats, rural and urban, everybody's got an alignment of self-interest in getting things built more rapidly to address this energy challenge that we face. I think it's maybe a time to go and re-look at some of the processes, make sure people's voices are heard, that there's an inherent sense of fairness in how decisions are made, but we can do it more quickly. With that, I'll yield back to the chair.